Hi Deepa,
Reshma, how are you doing
how are
now?
you? I'm feeling awful, but I'm here, so I didn't want to miss this.
I think you're a true superwoman for doing this. Before we start, I
I
must.
my brain's all fuzzy.
I'm sorry.
I said my brain is all fuzzy, so I don't really know what I'm going to be saying, but we'll see.
No, and true to your topic, you're looking absolutely amazing, and don't worry about it. But before we
Well,
start
thank
this,
you.
I want to share with the others that Reshma has actually been hospitalized for dengue, and she's still here with us. Keeping up her commitment, and I think that's incredibly amazing. Truly, Reshma, this goes out to you. Hello, everyone. I'm Deepa Rao Acharya. I'm moderating this very interesting session. I'm sure it's going to be fun and vibrant. The topic is never underestimate the power of a good outfit on a bad day. Just the way it sounds is like so lovely. And and I love dressing up myself, so I'm very happy to be moderating this session. Our speaker for the day is the lovely Reshma Ramaya, co-founder of Resh and Company Events. Reshma, before we begin, I'll give everyone a brief introduction on you. Reshma's company is a destination wedding planning agency grounded in India and Italy. It specializes in bespoke, timeless ceremonies. Reshma studied MBA at Northeastern University, and it was here that she was exposed to the event planning industry for the very first time. Even though she was studying full time, she dipped her toes in the corporate world and worked part time, helping plan engagement ceremonies, baby showers, symposiums, and multi day conferences for over 5,000 attendees. Passionate about her community, she's an active supporter of small businesses and women led companies. In her free time, she likes going on long runs, listening to true crime podcasts, and sustaining her unhealthy obsession with all things chocolate, just like all of us. Over to you, Reshma.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you so much for moderating.
My pleasure.
Okay. 7 seconds. On average, within 7 seconds of meeting, people tend to make a judgment call of who you are and what you like. But 7 seconds isn't nearly enough time to talk about your work experiences, your life, your likes, your dislikes, or really anything that shows your true personality. But what you wear and how you conduct yourself is what they do see. And whether we like it or not, people make snap judgments about other people based on looks long before they'll judge them on their words or actions. And this is critical in what has given me crippling imposter syndrome, this fear that I do not belong up here, this anxiety that people listening to me have, in 7 seconds, already decided I'm not good enough, smart enough, qualified enough, or will think I'm a fraud. And with that being said, I did want to confess something, and forgive me while I talk in third person for a second. This Reshma is a fraud. Reshma on a normal day is known to wear bright colors and bold styles, dye her hair temporarily, of course, pink one day, purple the next. I tend to choose the latest, oftentimes painful, styles over comfort. And it's a pretty good bet that anytime there's more than one pair of eyes on me, my mind will go completely blank as I stutter my way through a presentation. But this person I'm portraying right now was designed to subconsciously trick you and subsequently myself. Every part of what I chose to wear today was carefully picked to present to you a certain vision of myself. I'm wearing neutral tones and a blazer to show you I'm a serious professional. I toned down my makeup and stuck with just plain mascara and eyeliner so I don't come off as being ditzy. I've pinned my bangs behind to look older than my 27 years. And the only reason I'm wearing glasses right now is because the University of Edinburgh published a study saying people with glasses tended to look smarter. All of this was orchestrated to create a persona that gives off the impression that I know what I'm talking about. But whether or not I manage to successfully trick you into taking me more seriously it's irrelevant. What matters is how I perceive others have perceived me. Our mood and how we feel about ourselves is often directly linked to our appearance. When I think people are reacting positively to me and my sham persona is doing its job, my own sense of power increases, which incites feelings such as happiness and serenity and boosts confidence. On the flip side, a perception that people are viewing you negatively ignites feelings of being powerless and fuels negative emotions such as fear, anger, and sadness. In my case right now, I have dressed up in this way to show you I mean business. And by believing I have tricked your mind in the first 7 seconds to make certain positive assumptions about me, I have tricked my own mind into a sense of being powerful and subsequently boosted my confidence enough to deal with my debilitating fear of public speaking. If something as simple as clothes can empower, heighten confidence, and enhance your mood, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet that you can turn around an otherwise bad day where nothing really seems to be going your way just by what you choose to wear. What it comes down to really is confidence. There are n number of studies that confirm higher self-confidence and self-esteem leads to a higher level of happiness. So a good outfit leads to higher confidence, leads to high levels of happiness, which leads to a better day. Now, is there a way to consciously dress up to improve your day? I chatted with Harshina Rora, a New Delhi-based practicing psychologist who's in we discuss strategy in regard with our outfits. One, become your true self. So I have a theory, and hear me out, that all of our parents have 8 and only 8 stories about each of their children. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's those same stories that they repeat over and over again, and they recount those memories to you like you haven't already heard it a million times before. One of these 8, out of one of these 8 stories is is how it's full. I told my really uncle too, and this is an exact quote: "Get out of my house." Because he wouldn't listen to me. To talk back to anyone I felt was wrong, regardless of who they were. But if you knew me in middle or high school, you wouldn't have seen
I think we've lost Reshma's video and audio feed.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
She's back.
Is it better now?
It's better. Some glitches while you're speaking, but you're on air again.
Okay. Okay. It should be fine now. Okay. Thank you. No, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to start this part again. Okay. So if you knew me in middle or high school, you wouldn't have seen that feisty side of me. And that's because, you see, as I grew up, I was placed in this metaphoric box. The same box my parents were placed in by their parents. So just imagine a brown cardboard box with the words "conservative family child" scribbled on it. That box came with certain expectations, and one of that was how I was expected to dress. To be fair, 2020 India is a whole different world than what it was like in 2005. But back then, I didn't wear short dresses, my shoulders were always covered, and crop tops over my mom's dead body. The Indian society places a lot of weight on a woman's modesty, and I grew up in a time when society expected me to fall into that conservative box, and I hated that. What I saw in the mirror didn't reflect who I knew I was on the inside. I felt boring and drab and like an old auntie. It just wasn't me. While trying to fit in that box, I lost sight of who I truly was. I didn't feel like myself, so I didn't behave like myself. I became incredibly shy. I tended to blend in with the background at parties, and I had only one, maybe two close friends. This was a stark contrast from the extroverted, strong willed child that I used to be. I had lost my self confidence. When I was in college, away from a life built on decades of passed down expectations, I was able to rediscover who I was. I tried on clothes and styles I had never worn before. And when I looked in the mirror, I finally loved what I saw. And I do have to give credit where credit is due. My parents saw my inner struggle, quickly got with the changing times, and even though my dad still has issues with crop tops, their support was really what I needed. By rediscovering who I was, who Reshma in essence really was, I was taking back my power. And this helped me regain my confidence. So take a step back and figure out what box you were placed in. And are you happy in that? Figure out who you are, the essence of you, and where you want to belong. When you're looking for a confidence boost, instead of asking yourself the usual, what am I going to wear today? Ask yourself, who am I, and how do I want to show that to the world? Forget norms, standards, and quit looking for somebody else's approval. Pick clothing that connects you to you. When you do that, you're no longer a stranger in your own body, and I promise you're going to find confidence in yourself. If you've already drop kicked that restrictive box you were in and you're looking for something else, I bring to you strategy number 2. If you can't become your true self, then become someone else. There is a phenomenon called enclothed cognition. It was coined after an experiment conducted in 2012. It explored the effects that clothing has upon a person's psychological state and the way they think, feel, and perform in areas such as confidence and abstract thinking. In this experiment, there were 2 sets of people who were each given identical white coats to wear. One set was told that that was a doctor's coat, while the other set was told it was a painter's. They were then made to perform a series of tasks. Those who believed they were wearing a doctor's coat made half as many mistakes, performed better on attention-related tasks, and showed the highest sustained attention. So why exactly are people performing differently when they wear the exact same coat? Researchers believe it's the symbolic meaning behind the clothing. When someone attributes a stereotype to an article of clothing while wearing it, then the person tends to adopt the strengths and abilities symbolized by the clothing itself. So in this example, doctors are known to be highly intelligent, precise, and have a strong work ethic. Painters, on the other hand, have been stereotyped as being more carefree and more creative than scientific. So those wearing the doctor's coat perform better on the cognitive tests that were conducted. So how can you use this theory to your advantage? Look through your closet and find pieces of clothing that have some sort of symbolic meaning to you. Do you have a red polo shirt that gives you Tiger Woods vibes? Does wearing workout clothes make you feel like an Instagram influencer and fitter and healthier? Or do you have that perfect shade of maroon lipstick that reminds you of a bold, wild woman who blazes through life without a care in the world? A year ago, when I was in the midst of binge watching Suits, which is a show about these brilliant, insanely good-looking lawyers, I found a pair of black patent 3-inch heels on sale at H&M. The second I saw them, I thought they looked like something an actress on the show used to wear. They definitely aren't the most comfortable shoes, and they tend to make a lot of noise when I walk on wood flooring. But every time I wear them, my mind associates it with a powerful lawyer dominating the streets of New York City, and I instantly feel invincible. On a rough day, instead of dressing according to how you feel, ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Is it bold, or is it confidence, or sexy, or composed? And wear clothing or accessories that you associate that feeling with. The third and final strategy is to incorporate pieces that mean something to you. This might sound similar to the previous point, and to a certain extent, it kind of is. You're using clothing symbolism to alter your mood in both. But while in the previous strategy, you were using stereotypes associated with the clothing, this one is a little bit more personal. This involves picking an accessory or wearing an outfit that holds psychological value or relative importance of your past, present, or future. So on an especially bad day, wear something that brings back memories of a time when you were happy, or something of sentimental value, like what you were wearing when you accomplished a big goal of yours, or what you wore on your first date with your husband, or a piece of jewelry passed down from your favorite aunt. Basically, this is something you essentially already have a positive connection to. So what Harsheen and I discussed was, sometimes you don't have to wear the outfit to feel the effects. Just seeing it hanging on a clothes hanger or touching the material is enough to trigger memories. So theoretically, if some of your fondest memories were from high school, you don't have to force your body into a school uniform that hasn't fit you in well over a decade. Just looking at it should do the trick. So regardless of which method or methods I listed you decide to choose, or whether you decide to dress up or dress down, dress how you want to be seen. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't stick to norms and standards, and try to challenge yourself. It doesn't have to be something life-changing. This is something as simple as consciously picking your outfit in the morning, something you've always been doing, but now you're just doing it in a slightly different way. You're going to be moving forward, and that's what will help you regain self-confidence and self-esteem. On a bad day, while it might seem so much easier to just cancel plans, lay back in the comfort of your bed with your sweatpants and oversized shirt on, just remember that you are so much better and stronger than your momentary setback. And as the saying goes, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshma. I must say, given the fact that you have actually been hospitalized, you were extremely articulate, very clear in what you said. And though people may think that, talking about clothes is probably something slightly frivolous, you actually elevated it. I really appreciate that. And the last thing that you said, I was actually thinking that in my head, dress up.
Yeah.
Get up, dress up, show up. I would add one more thing to it: wear red lipstick and show up. I've realized that.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Is also like a mood elevator.
Absolutely.
I think we have time for a few questions. Reshma, given what you spoke about, and that you're also an image consultant, and I also remember in the beginning of the conversation you said how mindful you had to be about what you wore, for example, to this session. So I face this problem personally myself as well, because I wear various hats, as an influencer, an entrepreneur, an author. And so would you say that, when this happens, we need to explore different facets of our personality and keep, I don't know, not stick to any one style, but wear what's appropriate to that particular occasion? Because I'm asking this because a lot of women tend to stick to only one style of dressing, and they think they can't go out of the box.
Yeah, so that's exactly my point. It's the clothing that you wear changes your mentality. So instead of wearing the same things, just say you're going for a job interview. So when you wear something professional, your mind automatically becomes more serious. You get into the zone of being into. You get into the mindset of being your best self and being in a professional environment. So you do. You do have to dress for the occasion. And the other part of it is, from the time you are growing up, you're constantly changing and you're discovering things that you like, you don't like. So as you're growing up, you could you might wear dresses and you might hate it. And as you grow up, you might like dresses. So it's a constant change of who you are in that moment in time. And it sort of like changes with that. Your clothing, your outfit choices all changes with that.
Reshma? Hello, Reshma, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, Reshma, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Reshma, could you also tell us a little bit about how colors work on elevating our moods? You're having a bad day, and of course, we all have personal favorite colors. But
Right.
any suggestions on, say, daring reds or anything? Any suggestions on what we could wear to perk ourselves up on a bad day?
Yeah, so this is actually also something that I discussed with Harsheen. And in my mind, when I went into the discussion, I thought it was something like we associate yellow as the sun to something that's happy. And usually green is something that's that is more like envious and things like that. So we have sort of like preconceived notions. But what Harsheen said was that's actually not the case. It depends on each person's personal um, life experiences. So I might associate green with being envious because I think it's something to do with money. So greedy, I think that's something that I would associate with. But say somebody else grew up with a beautiful green backyard, and so when they look at that green, they have the memories of like the happy times in their house, and so they associate that with happy times. So when they wear green, they feel happy. But on my end, when I wear green, I probably wouldn't feel happy. So colors, I think, is very different, and it's very personal to the person, and that's defined by life experiences and how um, yeah, it's just by personal experiences. That's what we discussed.
I think now I have a very a question which is sort of relevant to the times we are living in, the challenging times we are living in, I must add. A lot of people are working from home, A. B, many of us have so many days where it's simply difficult even to wake up because there's so much negative energy all around you. There's so much happening, the pandemic, and so many other worries. So, at a time like this, what would you say are the particular challenges women face? Whether it's a homemaker or somebody who has to get on, say, Zoom calls all day long for her work. So, what are the particular challenges that women face? And, any tips on how to handle these using a killer outfit and, great makeup and something to elevate your day?
Yeah, so that's I'm not really an expert in that, so but I can just give you like things that I think of. Um, I think like how I ended my speech, get up, get dressed. I think that's the most important thing. When you wake up, and just because you're staying at home, sometimes I feel people just they wake up in their pajamas and they just stay in their pajamas all day. But your mind associates your pajamas to bed and feelings of being like tired, unproductive. And when you are in that mindset, you're going to be unproductive. So I think a really key thing to do when you wake up, and if you want to be productive that day, is to change. And it doesn't have to be wearing a full on outfit that you wear to go to work. Just maybe a nicer shirt, leggings, just something that's not sweatpants and not your silky pajamas. That would make a huge difference in changing your mentality and being more productive.
Okay, that makes sense. And it reminds me, actually, while you were speaking, I was reminded of what the main character, Sarah Jessica Parker's character, writes in
And
Sex and the City. She says that I like to see
yeah,
my money. Yeah, I like my money where I can see it, which is hanging in my closet.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is the power of a good outfit, I guess. So,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people underestimate that the power of a good outfit, and just even brushing your hair, I feel like has such a positive effect on your mentality and to be more productive. So even if you don't want to change, just like brushing your hair, putting in a little bit effort into how you look will change your whole day. Yeah.
Very true. I completely agree. So Reshma, with that, we come to the end of this very vibrant and fun session, I must say. Is there anything you would like to add before we
No, I
continue?
think no, I
Okay.
think that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Reshma, it's my absolute pleasure to announce that you're winning the Iconic Woman Award for creating a better world for all. This is for being a positive change maker in your field. So congratulations on that, and wishing you the
You.
very best. Stay safe and stay healthy. Hope you get well soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us despite being sick. Truly
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.